tricks to making learning more fun. Here's a story from a preschool classroom. The girl said that, you asked. Aren't preschoolers great? Have you ever taught a preschooler with a short attention span? Have you ever taught a preschool who was fearful? Have you ever taught a preschooler or a class of preschoolers with mixed abilities and experience levels? Well, of course you have, because these are three of the most common characteristics of a preschool class. So today, this morning, I'm going to share with you 14 ideas or 14 strategies on teaching preschoolers, on tricks to making teaching preschoolers more fun and making your classes more enjoyable and easier. Has anybody ever watched the show Rosie and Jim? It's on BBC Kids. Have you ever seen Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? This is just the beginning of the show. I won't make you sit through the whole thing.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
What would you use to describe the feeling you get about him as he started his TV visit? Kind of thinking in terms of the feeling that you want your children, your students, to have about you. What would be some of those words?
Familiar. Familiar.
Familiar.
Approachable. Trustworthy.
Trustworthy.
Comfortable.
Comfortable.
Yeah. That's it. Comforting.
Comforting.
Welcome.
Welcoming. Okay. We all know idea number 2 and 3 are pretend and use a story theme. In Swim 101, you'll see an exercise that we do called Your Motorboat's Stuck in the Mud. And that's the first thing we do every single class in the water. And Brian kicked so fast, they got their motorboat out of the mud. Everybody say hooray, and they say hooray, hooray. So we're pretending and we're using story time, and it makes learning more fun for young children, for preschoolers. We don't do that with our 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds. We do that with our 3s and our 4s and even our 5s. You bring something, just think, if you bring something different every class, it can be the most tedious little thing, but it would be something that they would get excited just about. Wonder what Coach, wonder what Coach Sterling's going to bring today. And they're in for a rude awakening when you do something.
There you go.
For younger ones, and among other activities.
Oh, I saw Mackenzie go on there.
High being one.
And Narita did really good.
Number 7, encourage them and focus on positive behaviors. My most complimented teacher of all time would not make my top 10 list of my best teachers, but she was the most complimented teacher. Because see, on average, and by the way, she was most complimented because she was so genuine and so good with praising the children, and the parents just ate that up. They loved it. Average teachers correct too much. And parents are even worse. So kids, especially our own, are seeking our approval all the time, and we don't even know it. According to the American Sport Education Program, parents and coaches are the #1 cause of a child's burnout in youth sports. Why? Because there's too much correcting and not enough praise. There's too much pressuring, not enough carefree fun. There are too many no's and not enough yeses. This is a little piece, but acting silly and looking stupid is okay when you're teaching preschoolers. I will show you a little video example of me acting silly and looking stupid.
Ridiculous Shelby was. Hold your barbell with 2 hands. Ah! Ah! Why you guys scared me? Ah! Don't scare me. Don't scare me anymore. I'm gonna cry. Don't make a grown man cry. All right.
Discipline is a gift of responsible love. What is the difference between discipline and rules and punishment? Discipline is the continual, everyday process of helping a child learn self-discipline. Now, what makes a rule a good one? First of all, it's got to be reasonable. Sterling splashes Ryan again. Sterling, I already warned you, you're in timeout now. I sit her up on the side of the pool. Now you sit right here, I'll let you know when you can come back in. I go back to teaching Ryan because he's a good student, unlike, no, I'm just kidding. So I go back to teaching.
Not far off.
Go back to teaching Ryan, and I'm going to say this, I believe, and have this on here in a minute. They say typically for timeouts like 1 minute per age. For swimming lessons, if I'm doing a 25-minute lesson, I do about half of that. A minute and a half, I'm coming back. But I'm coming back and I'm letting her know that you understand what you did wrong. And I'm going to tell her, now you know, if it happens again, I'm going to send you to mom or dad, and you're going to have to explain to them what you did wrong. And there's going to probably be consequences at home. Okay? And this time they're usually in tears, and they'll never do it again. All right. The desire to be loved is also a powerful motivation for children to behave in ways to please you. So they're motivated to behave. They're motivated to listen to you, especially if you're doing all the things that we're talking about. All right, idea number 10, keep your students active. And I'll tell you what, I would venture to guess this might be the leading cause for misbehavior in these swim classes. It's the teachers are not keeping the children active enough.